was a boy so bright and fair, he lived, I really don't know where. Quite long ago? It's hard to say. It might have been just yesterday. How old was he? I've not a clue, but probably quite young, like you. His second name we also lack. His mother simply called him Jack. Jack was hungry, thirsty too. He ran inside, well, so would you. "So what's for dinner, mother dear?" said Jack. She answered with a tear, "All that we have, my little son, is mouldy bread, and when that's done, there's nothing more to find in here. The cupboard really is quite bare. Oh, what will become of us?" And Jack began to cry and fuss until his mother said, "I know. Old Daisy simply has to go." Daisy was their faithful cow. That's all you need to know for now. So off Jack went with saddened face with Daisy to the marketplace to give her to a farmer who would buy him bread and chocolate too. But on the road the boy and cow met with a stranger. "Tell me now," the woman said, "I bet you would exchange that beast for something good." "Yes," cried Jack, "my mother said the cow's for sale to get us bread." The crone replied, "I'll have the cow. For you I've more than just loaves now. 5 magic beans, a prize indeed. They'll give you everything you need." Jack ran home. His mother seized his pile of beans. She wasn't pleased. How she yelled! "You fool, you nit! Our Daisy's gone and not a bit of cash for food, you silly twit!" She hurled the beans out through the door and smacked him round the head some more. While Jack was sent straight up to bed with empty tum and dizzy head, outside, as darkness filled the skies, the beans began to swell and rise. From little stems below your knees shot mighty trunks above the trees. They grew into enormous size, beyond the gaze of human eyes. When Jack awoke and looked outside, he stood amazed, and then he cried, "My beans have grown a mighty crop. I'll climb and see what's at the top." Up and up he climbed so high, he surely nearly reached the sky. But suddenly, to his surprise, a gloomy castle met his eyes. Not so sure he really dared, he tiptoed up, a little scared, knocking gently at the door. From deep within, a mighty roar, a bellow, a ferocious sound, a voice that shook the very ground.
Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an bones to make my bread.
At the door, the giant's wife appeared and said, "Quick, save your life! Hide, my husband's hungry so he'll scoff you down from head to toe!"
Time for food,
the giant cried, and opened up his mouth so wide to gobble tons of meat and chips and veg and fruit with all the pips. And from a barrel standing near, right down his throat went loads of beer. Soon, with all this grub on board, the giant dozed, and how he snored. But what was that? Beside the chair, a purse of gold was hanging there. That's what I need, thought Jack, and quick as light was in the room to nick the cash. Not waiting any more, he turned and ran out through the door. Down the beanstalk, down, and at the bottom, Mother's frown was turned to beaming smile when told of Jack's big shiny stash of gold. "Buy some food," she cried. "At least today we'll really have a feast." Next day, Jack climbed back up once more. Up and up until he saw the castle with its massive door. From deep within, a mighty roar, a bellow, a ferocious sound, a voice that shook the very ground.
I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Once again Jack hid and saw the giant scoffing more and more. Cakes and jellies, buns and pies, until his tum was twice the size. And then, content, he closed his eyes. The giant slept. Jack crept around to see what treasures might be found. A hen! And gleaming round her legs, a pile of shiny golden eggs. Get this bird out of the door, and he'd have gold forevermore. Jack grabbed the hen and held her beak. She couldn't give a single squeak to wake the giant. Then once more Jack tiptoed through the castle door. Down the beanstalk, eggs and hen clutched tightly in his arms. And when his mother saw the latest prize, she gasped and shrieked and rubbed her eyes. You beauty! With this golden lay, we'll feast like princes every day. Next morning, Jack looked up the stems. I'll climb again and see what gems the giant may have, that I may take and bring home for my mother's sake. Up and up, hand over hand, until he reached the giant's land. The castle loomed in view once more, and there again the mighty roar.
3, 5, 4, thumb. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread. Food, more food!
The ogre cried, and from a place where he could hide, Jack saw the giant's wife appear with piles of food and lots of beer. Sausage, mash, and beans, of course, and ice cream topped with chocolate sauce. Settling fatly in his chair, the giant said,
"O flute, come here and play to me a gentle air."
The silver flute began to play, and soon the giant was well away in dreamland. But he little knew that Jack was creeping into view. If I could have that magic sound, thought Jack, such music all around would make my mother dance with glee. She'd be so proud and pleased with me. Creeping out across the floor, Jack grabbed the flute and then, once more, set off towards the open door. But then, from deep within Jack's coat, there came a piercing, screeching note. An urgent tune that seemed to say, "Help, help, I'm being sneaked away!" The giant came to life.
Who dares to enter? Come here, wife, I smell a human. Catch him tight. He'll do for dinner time tonight.
The giant had him clear in sight, and knowing what his appetite would make of him if he were caught, Jack only had a single thought. He'd best not stay there anymore. He raced out through the castle door. Down the beanstalk, sliding, falling, still the roars and flute notes calling. Up above the huge footsteps make the stems and branches heave and shake. Mother, mother, come out quick! and bring the axe, and though it's thick, the beanstalk must be made to fall, or else the giant will have us all. Cut and slice, hack and hew, soon the giant will be in view. Quickly cut the beanstalk through. Crash and wallop, all that sound. Leaves and branches all around. And one large giant dead on the ground. So what of Jack and Mother then? They live a happy life, and when they want a tune, the flute will play. But Golden Hen has gone away. They took her off to market, where old faithful Daisy still was there. A quick exchange that seemed quite fair. But no more beans. They'll never try to grow a stalk that goes so high, or seek more treasures in the sky.